Okay, let's dive right in. Does your computer desktop ever feel like, I don't know, a digital jungle? Or maybe your cloud storage looks more like a chaotic junk drawer? Well, that feeling of being completely overwhelmed by our own digital stuff, that's exactly what we're going to tackle today. So let me ask you straight up. Does your digital world feel overwhelming? If you've ever wasted, 10 minutes hunting for a file you know you saved somewhere, or if you feel that little spike of stress just from opening your inbox, yeah, you are definitely in the right place.
And this really gets us to the heart of the problem: digital chaos. It's not just about being a little messy, right? It has real, actual consequences that affect our daily lives.
And believe me, these costs really do stack up. Digital clutter actively shatters our focus, making that deep, concentrated work feel almost impossible. It tanks our productivity, it genuinely increases stress and anxiety, and it can even hit you in the wallet. Paying for extra storage you probably wouldn't even need if things were organized. To really wrap your head around the scale of this, get this. According to a study by Adobe, workers in the US spend more than 5 hours a day just checking email. 5 hours! Just think about that. Every single time you jump from a task over to your inbox and back again, you're doing something psychologists call context switching. It completely destroys your focus and just drains your mental energy. That's a huge slice of our workday just lost to reacting instead of creating. Computer science professor Cal Newport just hits the nail on the head with this quote. The problem isn't any one app or a single file. No, it's the cumulative effect of all these little digital shiny baubles constantly competing for our attention all day long. It's a battle we're just not wired to win without a real game plan.
But here's the good news, and there is good news. There is a solution, and it's all about reframing this. This isn't a chore. This is an act of empowerment. It's about reclaiming your digital space, and in doing so, reclaiming your own mind.
So what are we really talking about? Digital decluttering. It's just the simple act of systematically clearing out all the digital junk, the apps, the files, the messages that you don't need anymore. And the goal is incredibly simple: to improve your well-being and boost your productivity.
And the payoff here is huge. When you declutter, you get this incredible sense of control over your work. You will genuinely feel your stress levels go down, you can rebuild your ability to focus for longer periods of time, and you end up saving a ton of time and mental energy. Okay, so how do we actually do this? I know it can feel like a massive undertaking, but I've distilled all the expert advice we looked at into a simple, memorable 4-step action plan that makes this whole thing feel totally manageable. Here's the framework. First, you audit and gather everything into one spot. Second, you ruthlessly purge and delete what you don't need. Third, you organize what's left into a logical structure that makes sense to you. And finally, you secure and back up your really important data. Now let's break down how this works in the real world.
The absolute easiest place to start for an instant win is your desktop. Create one single temporary folder, call it to sort or something like that. Now drag every single file and icon from your desktop into that folder. Yes, I mean all of them. And boom, just like that, you have a clean slate. That visual quiet is so motivating. Then you're going to do the exact same thing with your downloads folder. As you start organizing, the next game changer is to adopt a consistent naming system. I mean, a name like IMG_2020 or the one we all know and love, final_v2 is basically useless. But a descriptive name like project name _document type _date, well, that makes your files instantly searchable. The key here isn't some magic formula. It's just about being consistent.
All right, time to tackle the big one: your inbox. The 2 most powerful moves you can make are: 1, be absolutely ruthless with the unsubscribe button. If you don't read it, get rid of it. And 2, process new messages right away using a system. A popular one is the 4 Ds. You either delete it, do it if it's quick, delegate it, or defer it to a proper to-do list.
I just love this quote from productivity coach Patty Creamer. It's the perfect way to think about it. Your inbox should be a processing station, a place where things arrive and get sent to their proper homes. It is not meant to be a digital graveyard for thousands of messages you're never going to look at again. Next up, your phone. Let's be honest, it's probably a mess. So go through your apps. If you haven't opened one in the last few months, just uninstall it. You can always download it again. Group the apps you're keeping into logical folders to clean up your home screen. And here's the most important part. Turn off every single notification that isn't absolutely critical. Reclaim your attention from those constant dings and pings.
Now, for what is maybe the most crucial part,
A one-time cleanup feels great, but the real goal here is to turn this into a sustainable, long-term habit so you don't end up right back where you started.
To maintain all this hard work, you've got two fantastic flexible options. There's the 10-minute daily tidy, just a quick sweep at the end of the day to stay on top of things. Or, if that's not your style, there's the 100-minute weekly reset for a deeper clean. You don't have to do both. Just pick the routine that fits your life and actually stick with it.
And here are a few final pro tips to really make it stick. Be ruthless. Don't hoard files just in case. Automate everything you possibly can. Use email filters, set up auto backups. Practice the one-in, one-out rule. When you download a new file, find an old one to delete. And finally, put it on your calendar. Treat your digital decluttering time like any other important appointment.
So, after all this effort, what's the ultimate payoff? Well, I can tell you it goes way beyond just having nice, tidy folders.
Ultimately, it comes down to this. Organizing your digital world directly organizes your mental world. A clean, streamlined digital environment frees up your mental energy. It reduces that background hum of anxiety, and it lets you find that deep focus and creativity again. It really is a direct investment in your own well-being.
And that brings us to one last thought. Think of yourself as the architect of your own digital space. And since that space directly shapes how you think and how you feel, the question I want to leave you with is this. What kind of mental environment are you going to choose to build for yourself?